Hello, Dr. Robert Brody here. I just want to let you know what you leave with when you come visit us at the Center of Excellence in Generative Medicine. As you know, we work with diet and lifestyle as the primary focus for all of our treatments. We believe if you give the body what it needs, it can do the jobs that it needs to do. As you may have heard, you actually have a better chance of winning the lottery most of the time than you do of getting the same diet as someone else. The diets are completely individualized to you, and we'll explore this in a little more detail in just a few moments. Also, leaving the Center of Excellence, you'll get 100 recipes. Now, these recipes are once again individualized to you, and if you log online, you can actually get about 500 more of these. We also provide every patient with a schematic of our thought processes. This is really good if you're the type of person who likes to understand why we're doing the treatments that we're doing, so why we're using this vitamin or why we're using this herb. It also works really well when we're doing integrative care. So if you have a family physician who's not exactly sure of what this mineral is, what that herb is, this will explain why and how we're using it. And for another little version of the same thing, we have the supplements here, and we have the dosing here, also most importantly of why we're doing the things that we're doing. So this is for your easy reference, so you know what to take and when to take it. So let's dive into the diet in a little more detail. Let's give a little bit of a tour. Let's open it up. This is my diet, and I'm a blood type O secretor hunter, so it's going to be a little bit more kind of along the lines of a Paleolithic diet. And the first page that you open up to will be a reference for a cell phone. So with this information on this page, you can actually log onto your cell phone and explore your whole diet while you're food shopping or maybe while you're at a restaurant. That way you know exactly what you can eat and what you shouldn't eat. And all the information on how to log into that is right here. The next part is just welcome you to the Center of Excellence. Has some good information here about genotypes and the diet in general. Next, when I go to the next couple pages right here, these are going to be the categories of different foods that are going to be broken down a little bit later. We have a red meat category, a poultry category, an eggs category, a fish and seafood category, a dairy products category, vegetable protein category, fats and oils, carbohydrates, live foods, fruits, spices, beverages, and condiments. So since I am a blood type O, I get a lot more red meats than someone who will be a blood type A. But the first thing you want to do when you come to this page is you want to look right up here, this little paragraph. Toward the bottom of the paragraph, we'll have the portion size, and that's something you very much want to follow. And for my portion size, it says about the size of the palm of your hand, so about 4 to 6 ounces. And then right under that, you'll see frequency, and I have 5 servings weekly of red meats. So then we have the different categories. We have superfoods, neutrals, and best avoided. So I like to think of the superfoods as foods that are medicines. They actually help you. They're helping you for whatever reason or whatever complaint that you're coming in with. The neutrals kind of act as calories, so giving you the stuff that you need on a daily basis, but not for medical purposes. And the best avoids actually act as toxins. So ideally what we want in our diet, we're looking for about 80% compliance at the minimum. We would like 80% of your diet be coming out of the superfoods section, and we would like about 20% coming out of the neutral category. The best avoided portion of the whole thing, we try to avoid that because they act as toxins. So if we go through the foods here, we can see that there might be some little diamonds next to these foods. And if you see these little diamonds, that means that food acts as a super beneficial. So that means when I went into my diet and I changed it around to make it individualized to me, that if I eat these foods, that would act as medicine for me. So right now you can see the first one on the top of my list in superfoods is actually beef because it has a diamond next to it. So one of the ones, when I went in and I changed the diet around, beef is actually beneficial. It shows some kind of medical effect. And this will be for the most part in all the different categories. But I did want to bring you to the fish and seafood section, and this can be any category, mind you. So these are the superfoods, the neutrals, and best avoids. And sometimes in the best avoided section, you'll see a little dot next to things. So I have a little dot next to bluefish. So right now, I'm supposed to give up bluefish for about 6 months, then I can reintroduce it into my diet and see how I do. Make sure I don't get any side effects from reintroducing that. We're kind of giving the body a chance to reset, recalculate, so it can go on doing what it needs to do. And this is the same for every single category. I'm just going to skip a little bit toward the back. Beverages and condiments should be next. There we go. So the next little part is the harmonics. So this is something that we like to use for a different process. So sometimes this will be detoxification up here, sometimes they'll be listed as ubiquitization, maybe we're trying to lose weight, maybe we have problems with diabetes, but it's one of the ways that we modify the diet. So you can see over here we have different foods, and then we have a list of different foods here. So basically if you combine one of these foods over here with one of these foods over here, it acts as a medicine. It acts as a medicine for this effect up here, which in most cases maybe it will be detoxification or something along those lines. So we can see here I have bison here, so I have to eat some bison. I eat a nice bison steak with, I drink some green tea while I'm eating that, or I have that with a little bit of sauerkraut. It would actually be a beneficial effect for me. And we usually give you a lot of these different options. So if I could eat quinoa, which I actually really do like eating, I can eat quinoa maybe with some black beans, and it'll actually be very beneficial for me. The next page will be this. And this, if you log on, there's a URL right down in this section, which will tell you how to log in. You can log in here, and this is where you can get the other about 400 recipes. And also, you have a nice little shopping cart option. So if you're the type of person that likes to go online and do all your shopping ahead of time and print out a shopping list, you can come here and you can do that. This is for, you can cut this out, you can put this in your purse or wallet, and these are all your beneficial foods and all your avoid foods, very small print. So you might need a magnifying glass if you use that. I do highly recommend that new cell phone application. The next page will just be a general exercise guide. And with this general exercise guide, I'll tell you a little bit about you and your genotype and what you need to do to help your health. So we have less demanding exercises and more demanding exercises. It also gives you a couple little tips of how to de-stress. So generally speaking, blood type O's do really well with aerobic, kind of fast-paced, intense exercises. Where blood type A will get some benefit from that, but they really get the majority of the benefit from more calming exercises. And this has to go into a little bit more detail about how you deal with the stress hormone called cortisol or your adrenal hormones. And there'll be a video about that in just a few weeks. The next page is just a little bit more information about my genotype, and my genotype is hunter. So this goes into what makes a hunter and what makes you unique as a hunter. And goes into a lot of good information about that. The last little page is actually going to be a glossary of terms. So if I say something or you read something in the book that you just don't understand, you can actually go in here and you can figure out what that means. This book right here is just a recipe book, and this book you can go through at your leisure, and it'll give you a whole bunch of different recipes. So the first one I turn to is salad, and it'll give you all the different ingredients and how to cook it. There are also many other different types of books that you can get too that are blood type specific to help you give you ideas on what to cook. I wanted to explore the schematic of just a little bit more detail. Up here in the yellow box, you usually have the date of your visit. And then these boxes right here that are in red, they'll be your chief complaints or what we're trying to fix. And then down from there will be our processes of what we're trying to do. So in this one, we're working on apoptosis, which is destroying bad cells. And we're going to stop vascularization. And then we have a link to a gene. And then actually we have a link to green tea. So in this certain patient, we're trying to increase apoptosis with some green tea. It's just good for integrative care, that one. The next little thing is just going to be your treatment plan. So we can see here we have Scienza, which is one of our products that we use here. Right under that, we're exactly why we're using it. And then it'll be directions. The directions will be down a little bit lower.